All right, gentlemen, Mr. Miller,
What's
Mr.
the l'autre
Clergy.
W? The other W.
Okay, because when I read the book from Sam Walton Walmart,
Yeah.
it's really interesting, the story. Okay,
So you can tell us about it because now we have a great subject ahead, which you were so
yeah.
motivated a few minutes ago.
Wow. How does Walmart handle
Criticism.
criticism?
They don't. Oh, we're back. We're
All
gone.
right.
We're back.
All right. So
We're good.
how?
We're back. Are we back?
I
Are we
think
not?
Jeff's camera is busted, but so keep going. What we
No
want to talk
problem.
about
Yeah.
criticism. We want
So yeah,
about
but I think we tweaked it during the French version because we were so uninspired, so we had to change it. So we started with how to deal with criticism, but then we switched to how to not take anything personal as a broker.
and because of the fact that we weren't inspired, I
You
think
weren't
that
inspired.
I'm asking whoever's watching to tell us what you'd like for us to talk about. Tell us about your struggles without being. We won't have to mention your name, but tell us in the comments or write to us or call us and say, hey, why don't you guys talk about this or that and anything that has to do with either business, growing a business, a real estate broker, mortgage broker. So we know because for me, this topic is not fun for the brokers, but hey, what do I know? So that's what I
For
had to
him.
say.
For him.
So
For
that
him.
Yeah,
was
maybe
45
maybe I'm
seconds of
completely
fame.
wrong. So
No,
go ahead with
you do not do content only for yourself. We do
That's
this
right.
for
Exactly.
whoever is listening. If
So
Jeff.
what's your original question?
So the question is, how do you not take anything personal as a broker? Basically, you get left
Yeah.
bad reviews, or you keep doing cold calls, and people are constantly telling you, "Oh, stop calling me," and oh, "I'm sick of you guys always calling." And you get in that general bubble of you're just another broker calling.
Yeah.
How do you not take it personal? You have to do 50 calls that day, 100 calls, whatever it is.
Well, it's not just the calling; it's any type of
No, I understand, but
communication,
that's
right?
usually when you get the most direct, instant resistance.
Right, because it's right smack in your face.
Exactly.
Or yeah, exactly. So how does one go about not feeling all devastated after? Is by doing it a lot and understanding and realizing that it's not you. It's got nothing to do with you. Most people don't even know you if you're doing straight out prospecting on people you don't know. But even if you did know the people, if I reach out to you on the weekend, like today, and I just called you later, and you're not in the mood because your wife just criticized you about
I'd probably,
something,
I'd probably cuss you out
or
real
she's been
quick.
asking you to dismantle the kid's toy playpen thing that I'm
Bring
supposed
it
to
to
get for
somebody
free,
else.
and you still haven't done it, and I catch you at that time, maybe you'll be more short with me, or then I'll feel like, oh, he's
I did
upset, or
something,
yeah, he's gonna leave me, and my
Jesus.
relationship is
It's
over. And
over.
I could go down that route, or I could, like I'm saying now, and I'm suggesting for you to do, is to just say, ah, well, maybe he's having a bad day, and not. But as I said in the French version, I think it all comes down to confidence. There's things we don't know. If our intention is good, if we're acting in a good way. Jeff, I'm gonna talk about yesterday. I was pretty emotional about in a bad way about the certain things we're doing, and
Yeah,
and I kept repeating to you. What did I tell you all the time? If you remember,
I
maybe.
barely remember.
Oh,
I shut
that's
it
good.
down.
So maybe that's why we have so much. No, but I kept saying it's not about you. I'm
Yes,
not
yes, yes. That's
picking
fine.
on you. I'm not criticizing you. I'm not because it was nothing to do with you. It was about the how I felt about a certain situation, but you were there, so I'm talking to you.
He
Of
never
course.
tells me that. He does tell me it's about me.
You know what I tell my wife?
Oh, I know, I know. But again, it comes back to it. Oh,
What?
no, no. But again, it comes back to you. You said it is you have to take that step back and be able to just listen and go ahead, upon whatever is discussed and how we build around it.
Yeah. And again, understanding it's the context, it's the situation, it's got nothing to do with
Yeah.
what's being offered. I was gonna say about my wife. I often go to her and talk about something that was not a good experience or I wasn't happy about, and it's got nothing to do with her, but she's the only one I can talk to about certain things, and I will talk to her about it, and I tell her, and she understands, and she knows. So she could think that it's I'm upset at her or she's doing something wrong, but no, it's just I need to talk about it. So when we're cold calling, when we're reaching someone we don't know, when we're offering a great thing we think with good intention, and whoever
Yes.
we're reaching is having a moment like that, well, they reciprocate to us their emotion about whatever they're living in their lives, and we too often think, oh, it's about us. It's got nothing to do with us.
Great
It's just
point.
a moment.
I like
We're
that.
gonna send you off to our Crown video. You'll have a virtual tour of our new construction here with Miller Group and Hunsik. So all the details are there, and we'll be back in a few moments.
Know who he is?
Do you, Steven?
Google him.
Google. Your life will be changed for the worst. So we're back.
So I believe strongly that the more confidence you have, the less this will
So
affect
it's all
you.
about confidence.
Well, yeah, because if you're confident, what do you care if someone is?
But can it kind of hit your confidence in a bad way if continuously you're getting the same negative remarks? Can't you say at the end, oh man, everybody's saying the same thing. Maybe it is, or oh, maybe I should.
What do you think?
I think at any point for anything, there's always, if something comes back often and often and often.
But how much is that? Like I guess that's the question now.
I guess daily. Let's say daily.
Yeah, but for how long? Like for 10 years or for-
it does not necessarily means that you're not doing something, that you suck at something. It's just maybe you should change your strategy, or change your approach, or change something about, whatever is that service.
But you got to do it long enough, though, to not just stop with that first little resistance. I think that, but that's the question. Because if you start adapting, changing every time someone says, or two or three, or
and that's what I mean when I say if it happens to a certain point. If
for 5 years, then change.
Well, I would say before
A year,
probably,
but
So
not
you
not
should-
1 month, 1
what
week,
I mean,
one.
What I mean is that if it has a direct impact into, we're talking about business here, right? So if it has an impact into your business, so you're doing X effort and your business is not growing, and it's lacking, but you're doing all this effort. So now at one point you'll have to say, well, okay, well, I'm doing this effort, and the business is either at the same level or decreasing. I mean, I have to change something, even though I'm doing it X amount and at a super high volume. I have to change something.
But if I stopped, even if it's been years and years that I've been reaching out to brokers to say, hey, I want to get to know you, let's network, and those that say, and there's always a 1 to 2% that say, no, stop calling, I'm not interested, you're this, you're that. If I stopped to try to realign, that would be a big, huge mistake, because it's been years.
No, but
and
we're not talking about stopping. We're just
no, but even realigning. I even had in the beginning years, not weeks or hours, or some close people to me saying, maybe we should tone it down, maybe we should stop, maybe we should reduce, maybe we should. And at that time, I did have that little doubt, because these were close people to me, and they weren't strangers. And I'm thinking, oh, maybe I am wrong. Maybe. Whereas that, if I would have had lesser confidence in what I was doing, I would have stopped, and then I would have screwed it all up. Even I think last year there's a burst of time where I had a moment of averageness here, and I stopped and rethought or took advice, which was a mistake. So I think it comes back to what you're saying. Yes, you got to go through it a long enough period of time. And the question is, how long is that? I think it has to be a substantial amount of time before you start rethinking or changing your strategy when you get some resistance.
Yeah. Well, one thing's for sure is that if you do change your strategy, well, you shouldn't just stop everything. You have to keep going something, because your business continues. It's not like your life stops and you say, okay, well, you know what, I'm going to take three.
But often that's what happens. You get your first yes, you get a couple of no's, and then it's like, oh, this doesn't work. I'm stopping.
Let me realign, and then your break is 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. But I mean, your business is not. Doesn't stop. So
So final word is basically if you get criticism, not only don't you ever take it personal, but if you feel you do have to realign because something like sticks around, work on it while still doing what you're doing. Don't just stop and then you break the entire cycle, basically.
there you go.
And maybe get the opinion of someone else. Don't just go with ask a few people.
But even there, if you are confident to what you're doing, if you ask people,
But
Maybe
ask
successful people in the field
Successful,
and not just
right,
like people
okay.
close to you and they're like,
Right,
yeah,
right.
QD,
That's a
it's
good-
all
that's a
good.
good-
They need to bring actual value.
Yeah, no, but
Exactly.
that exactly. It has to be a mentor or
That's right.
someone that you look up to that's achieved bigger and better things than you have.
Sometimes
that
I
point.
ask stuff out to my wife, but I know it's not gonna bring. But it's not for that a specific thing. But I'm just gonna ask her that. It helps me more think
The perspective.
to have perspective,
Sure.
and it helps me to think.
Well, that's why it's so
Another
important to
way.
have a team like
That's right.
we have, so we can exchange and think. Like I might think something, and then you like, no, I see it from this angle, and oh yeah, I didn't think of it. Like the subjects earlier in French where I didn't get it, and you clarified it. You
That's right.
see, that's why it's beautiful to have.
All
a-
right, so we're done here. And we are. So thank you everybody for watching us. An interesting subject, and we'll be back